Hello.
Yes.
So can I ask you something?
Yes, please.
So the video you shared was
Yes.
of 19 minutes
Yeah,
or
somebody
some.
was saying something?
Yes, sir. Hello.
Yeah, was anyone telling me something?
Yes, sir. I was asking that the video you shared was of 19 minutes each, and the
Okay, fine.
classes that.
Sorry, I'm not able to hear you clearly. Your voice is breaking up. What were you saying? Can you repeat that?
Sir, can I write in message box?
Yeah, please do that. Okay, fine. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start looking at how to manipulate data. All right. So I hope everybody is able to see my screen clearly. So we are going to start looking at how to manipulate data. So when I talk about manipulating data, right? Manipulating data. When I talk about manipulating data, I'm talking about, right, operators. Okay, what exactly are operators? Now, operators are very important in any programming language because operators are like your verbs. Okay, I had talked about the verbs and the noun of your programming language, sometime back in some of the classes. But what exactly are operators? Operators are verbs. Okay. Now, what these operators do, they manipulate data. These operators manipulate data. Data are like nouns. Okay. So, data are like nouns. In fact, you have already learned about some operators. Basically, when you have started your schooling, you have done, you have used these operators like addition, subtraction, right? You have also used multiplication in mathematics, but the same multiplication in a programming language is represented by a star. All right, this is division and this is remainder. So these are some of the operators that you already know of. But C programming language has got a rich set of operators. That means there are lots and lots of operators. These are not the only operators that we are going to discuss, but there are going to be lot many operators that C programming language actually has to offer. All right, so let me see if somebody has sent any message. No, still no message. All right, fine. So let's continue. Now, in this chapter that we have started, you are going to first learn about the arithmetic operator, right? So all of you know what arithmetic operators are, so we're just going to touch briefly upon it. You are also going to learn about unary minus operator, okay? And you're going to learn about, it's unary, the spelling is wrong, it's unary, unary minus operator. You're also going to learn about increment and decrement. Okay, increment and decrement operators. You're also going to learn relational operators. So you don't have to really worry about this if you don't know what they are. And we'll also talk about the cast operator. So this is basically going to be our first few lessons that we are going to start. Okay, so let's start with the arithmetic operator. Okay, and everybody is familiar with this right now. So the first operator that we're going to discuss is this, right? So what is the name given to this operator? It is called as an assignment operator. Assignment, ASSIGNMENT, assignment operator. Okay, and you have used it many times. Now, when you use an assignment operator, there are two parts of it. One will be the left hand side and the other one will be the right hand side. Okay, so one will be the left hand side and the other one will be the right hand side. And when you use the assignment operator, there has to be two data items which will be listed alongside it. Like you can have some 3 and 4 here, or you can have a is equal to 5, right? So you have these components which are listed at the side of the operators. Now these are called as operands. These are called as operands. So when you talk about operator, you also have operands. Okay, so operators are nothing but they are represented using symbols. They are like the verbs. They help you do something, and when you talk about doing something, you have to do something on. Yes, yeah, you somebody saying something. Anybody saying something? Shubham, are you saying something?
No, sir.
His mic is on.
Then please, yeah, please mute your microphone. Okay, thank you. So when we talk about operators, there is always an operand. Operands are the data on which the operator performs some kind of manipulation. That means without the data, we cannot manipulate it, right? So the whole essence of programming is how efficiently or what are the ways in which you can manipulate data. So operators basically help in manipulating the data, and the data is actually known as the operands. Okay, so with an operator, there is always an operand. Okay, let's look at an example. Okay, although this is very simple, but there would be probably someone in the class who would benefit from it. Let's look at an example. Now, when I say int a, right, we know that int is a data type. That means what this is specifying is that a is a container. So a is a container which is of the type integer. That means this is a container which can store an integer value. That is absolutely clear, right? Now we can write something as a is equal to 5. Now this is a statement. Now when we look into the statement, we have the right hand side, which is this is the right hand side, and this is the left hand side. Okay, now this statement writes the value of the right hand operand, which is this, into the memory location of the integer variable a. That means this is my storage, this is my container, this is present in the memory. That means in the memory this container is allocated, right? And the name of this container is a, and this 5 is being put inside this container. So value is being put inside a. Now, who is helping us do this operation of taking the value and putting it into a? This is the operator that we call as assignment operator. Okay. Now, if we have something like b is equal to a is equal to 5, what is happening here? The value 5 is being put into this container a, and from this a, this value 5 is again being put into the container b. So here we have two different containers, and this value 5 is being poured into those two different containers. Okay, so now you must have already realized that there is a direction in which the data is flowing here, right? There is a direction in which the data is flowing. So which is the direction in which the data is flowing? This is the direction, right? So if you consider this as a pipe, and if you have a container here and some value here, this will always flow in this direction. Okay, so in the assignment operator, the data will be, which is there on the right hand side, will always flow to the left hand side container. So it is important to declare a container on the left hand side. It is important to declare a variable on the left hand side and have the data which you want to store into this variable on the right hand side. Now this is very important. Okay. Now if you do something like this, 6 is equal to a, what's happening here? What is happening here? 6 is equal to a. We have written it in the opposite way. So if you look at it at a glance, you can actually you may think that it is correct. Okay, but it is incorrect, and backward it will not work. So the assignment operator, which has the symbol equal to, always works from right to left. Therefore, the value on the left must be some form of variable, so must be some form of container which can receive the value from the expression which is on the right. Okay, so if you write something like this, it is incorrect. You cannot, 6 is not a container, 6 is the value, and it is not going to flow in this direction. It actually flows in this direction, but in this case we don't have a container here. The container is here, and you cannot transfer the value of this into 6. Okay, so this is a very important thing that you must remember. You can never write in a backward way. Everybody is clear with what I just told you? Anyone has any doubt? No? Okay. So if you don't have any doubt, I'm going to continue with this. Right. So let's see, can we combine the arithmetic operators with equal to? Now, equal to is an assignment operator. Okay, so let's write it here. This is an assignment operator. Now what we're going to look at it is how can we use another arithmetic operator, right, along with this assignment operator. Now it's a very, let's take a very simple example. Suppose I do z is equal to x plus y. Okay, this is a statement. This is a statement. All right, now it's very simple. Now what happens here? The sum of these two, that means x is a container which has some value, y is a container which has some value, whatever is the value which is stored inside this, these two values are going to get added because we have an addition, which is an arithmetic, which is called as addition operator. So the value of 3 plus 2 is going to get added here. So the result of these two is going to be 5, right? And we have written it in the correct sequence. That means the value from the right is going to flow into another container, which is z, and z will actually have the value 5. All right, so this is very simple. Now we can also do something like, rather than having z here, right, this is very simple. Now we can consider the same example, and this time instead of assigning the result to the third variable, so this is the first variable, this is the second variable, and this is the third variable, rather than assigning the values of this and this to the third variable, can we write the result of this back into this integer? We can. So how does that look like? This. In this case, what we are doing, we are taking the value of this, we are taking the value of this, we are adding it, and then we are replacing this value, right? And taking the final answer and we are putting it back into x. So if x was 1 and y was 3, the value of x after this operation will become 4. And this is very simple to understand, right? Now, always remember that the operator will always work from the right to left. Okay, this operator will always work. This operator will always work from the right to left. Okay, so the right side will always get evaluated first. So this side always gets evaluated first. So if you have x is equal to a very complex expression here, this complex expression will first get evaluated, and then only the value will get replaced or will flow into the variable x. Okay, now the C programming language gives you a new operator to perform this kind of activity. Okay, so let me just clean this up and then we will discuss upon the new operator. So in order to do something like x is equal to x plus y, right, C gives you a new operator, and that operator is this, which means that we are doing the addition as well as the assignment together. Okay, so if I write x plus equal to y, the meaning of this is this particular expression. All right, this means x is equal to the same x plus y. Now this is a special operator which is available in C. Okay, now what is this operator called as? It is called as, so this operator is called as addition assignment operator. Addition assignment operator. Now all the arithmetic operators, that is plus, that is minus, and you have multiplication and division and this, all these arithmetic expression can be represented by this special operators. So we can have plus equal to, then we can have minus equal to. So if you do minus equal to, which means if I do x minus equal to y, this means this is equivalent to x is equal to x minus y. Okay, so you can also have something like you know this one. Okay, this is one operator, this is a special operator. This is called as subtraction assignment operator. This is called as multiplication assignment operator. So if you have something x multiply equal to y, this is nothing but x is equal to x into y. It's very simple to understand. I hope everybody is understanding this. Okay. Similarly, you have division, and you have, this is called as, this last one is called as remainder assignment operator. All right. Now I'm going to. Do you have anyone has any questions here? Because we will look into.
Sir,
Yes.
could you repeat this part again?
Repeat this part. Okay. Can you mute your microphone? Thank you. Okay. All right. So I'll repeat this part again. Yes. So if you have an expression something like x is equal to x plus y, right? We have two different operators here. One is the assignment operator, and the other one is the addition operator. This is the addition arithmetic operators. All right. Now, rather than writing it in this form, C programming language gives you another operator which will represent this expression. And that operator is actually called as addition assignment operator. And that operator is denoted by this. So this above expression can also be written as this. Okay, which means that the same thing can be written using a special operator, which is this operator is a combination of this plus this. So rather than, what basically we are trying to do here is we are replacing the use of x. So x is written only once, and we are writing this addition assignment operator. So this, the meaning, the way when the compiler is going to process this statement, it will process this as x is equal to x plus y. So all the arithmetic operators, like for example addition and this combination, right? You have minus and this combination, then you can have multiplication and this combination, then you can have division and this combination, and then you can also have remainder and this combination, right? So all these will actually represent. So if you have x is equal to x plus y, you can actually write this using this operator, which is x y. That's it. All right. So if you have something as x is equal to x minus y, you can write the same thing using this operator, which is called as subtraction assignment operator. Now this is called as an addition operator. This is called as an assignment operator. But the combination of these two, when you use it together, it is called as addition assignment operator. This is addition operator, this is assignment operator. Together we will call it as addition assignment operator. Okay, so this means we can write the same expression as something like this. So if you are writing something as x is equal to x into y, you can write the same thing as x into can write the same thing as x equal to y. Okay, and the last one, if you have something like x is equal to x percent, I'll tell you what exactly. This will give you the remainder. Like this will give you the quotient, this gives you the remainder. Okay, so this will be written as percentage equal to y. Okay, so here we are combining the different operators, and in place of this is how it is represented. These both these expressions are similar to each other. Is this clear now? Is this clear? Anyone
Yes,
has a
sir.
doubt? Okay, fine. So I'm going to clear this canvas and then we can discuss some arithmetic expressions. Example, let's see if I have an expression, something like this. If I have an expression which is something like z is equal to z into x plus y. All right. Now, normally what we do, right? We can we can say that, oh, it will be similar to z this, right, x plus y, isn't it? Doesn't this look I mean, this is what comes into your mind when you actually, using replacing these two operators by this. This is what comes into your mind. But these two are not equivalent. These two are not equivalent. Okay, because this actually, if you look at this expression, it is z is equal to z into x plus y. This is how this expression will get evaluated. All right, this is how the expression will get evaluated. But in this case, this is not happening. Okay, because z has to be actually multiplied. So in this case, what is happening? In this case, this is equivalent to this. This is not equivalent to this. So when you write z into equal to x plus y, this is how this is going to get evaluated. But what we are doing on the top is, so z is equal to z into x plus y is not equal to, they are not equivalent to z is equal to z into x plus y. Did you understand this? So when you're using operators, you have to be very, very careful about how you use it, because you know uh, when you look into the brackets, when you have to, there are different rules. Like for example, in mathematics, you have the BODMAS rule, right? You must be all knowing how exactly the expressions are resolved, how the expressions are actually evaluated. So we use BODMAS to do that. So we will not get into that, but we will talk about some other expressions now, right? So I hope everybody's understood these arithmetic expressions, and if you have any queries, we can still discuss that. Otherwise, we can move ahead. Anyone has any more queries? No. Okay. How can we increment and decrement by 1? Okay. Now we have two very important operators which are called as increment and decrement operators. What these operators do is, x is equal to x plus 1, or if you are writing an expression, x is equal to x minus 1. Now in both these expressions, you will notice that we are trying to add only okay. So these increment and decrement operators can handle these kind of issues. If somebody has joined late, or you know Uh, you can, or if you have not written your roll number into the chat box, then kindly do that. Okay, fine. Thank you. All right, so I was talking about the increment and decrement operators. So if you have to write some expressions like this, where you're going to add a single number or subtract a single number, then these operators are going to be useful. So in place of writing this entire expression, right, you can replace this with your increment operator or decrement operator. Okay, so you can also write x. Okay, so when you write, or for example, sorry, you can write this way. Let me write it here. So you can write plus plus x and minus minus x. So this is equivalent to this, and this is equivalent to this. Now, actually, there are two versions. Like if you have noticed earlier, I wrote plus plus and then I again changed it to this. So there are two versions. You can either write plus plus x, or you can write x plus plus. You can either write minus minus x, or you can write x minus minus. Now, in both, there is a different meaning. Both are not same. They are not same. Okay, and I'll explain exactly how they are different. But what you must remember right now is when we use this increment or decrement operator, we are only doing addition or subtraction by one unit. That means by one. Okay, so let me just explain what is the difference between these two different ways of using increment and decrement operator. Okay, now there are two versions of the increment and decrement operators, I told you, right? So in the first version, like this, when we are using this as a prefix, okay, so you know what is prefix and what is suffix, right? So if you have something and you write a symbol here, this is prefixing, and when you write something here, it is postfixing, okay, or it is suffix and prefix. So in this case, we will talk about prefix and we will talk about postfix. Okay, so this is pre and this is post. So remember pre and remember post. Okay, so you can either write this in the pre mode, or you can write this in the post mode. So this is the post and this is the pre. I think this is clear, right? This much we have is very simple to understand. Okay, now let's see what exactly happens. So where plus plus appears before its operand, isn't this an operand? Yes, it's an operand. So when plus plus appears before its operand, the increment operator is called as pre-increment operator. That means there are two versions of this: pre-increment operator, right, and post increment operator. Along this also will have a pre-increment operator, and you will have a post increment operator. Sorry, post decrement operator. So you have pre-increment, post increment, pre-decrement, post decrement. Okay, so this is an example of pre-increment operator. Now this refers to the order in which things will happen. This refers to the order in which things will happen. In this case, the operator first adds 1 to x. Okay. In this case, what happens is the operator first adds 1 to x, then yields a new value of x. Okay. In this statement, the pre-decrement operator first subtracts 1 from x and then yields the new value of x. I'll give you an example and then you will be able to understand this better. But when you have something like x plus plus, when you are using it as a post-increment operator, in this case, what will happen? First, this value is assigned and then the addition will take place. I'm going to give you an example for this. Then you can understand it better. First thing, let's see. When I write y is equal to x plus plus. Okay, when I write something like this, right, what is going to happen? y is going to be assigned to the original value of x. So let's take an example. Suppose x is equal to 5. So using this operator, we are going to change the value of x to 6, right? But in case of this, this is basically using it as a post increment operator, right? This is being used as a post increment operator. Post increment because we are writing plus plus after x. In this case, what is going to happen is first the value of x is going to be assigned to y, and then the value of x is going to be appended by 1. I hope you're understanding this. If you're not understanding this, again, I am repeating this. So if you have an
So understood.
example where x is equal to 6 and you have y is equal to x plus plus, right? So in this case, what is happening is first the value of x will be transferred to this value of y, and after that the value of x will be incremented. That means in this case the value of y will be 6 and the value of x after this expression is completed will be 7. Okay, but the same thing, if we write y is equal to plus plus x, then what is going to happen? Now y, first the incrementation will happen. First this incrementation will happen. That means first the value of x will be incremented by 1 and then it will be assigned to y. So in this case, the value of y will be 7 and the value of x will also be 7. Did you understand this?
Yes,
Did
sir.
Yes,
everyone
sir. Yes,
understand
sir.
this? Because it's important to understand this.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, fine. So, very good, very good. So this is the difference between pre-increment and post-increment. Okay. Now this will also basically be applicable to all the other operators as well. Let me see. Let me just take a simple example, and then we can continue. So I'm not writing a program for this because you can write the program for this in the lab, but I'm just writing a rough program. So if I have, say, int, okay, w, say x, y, and z, and let's say I have another variable called as result. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a statement which says x is equal to y is equal to z is equal to 1. All of you able to understand what I'm doing here? The value of 1 will
Yes, sir.
flow into each of these variables. Okay, very good. The value of 1 is going to flow into each of these variables one by one. First, it is going to go into z. After that, it will go into y. It will, after that, it will go into x, and finally, it will go into w because it flows in this direction. Okay, fine. Now, if I print the values after this, if I use printf and I print the values of all, I will get 1, 1, 1, and 1. This is for x, this is for y, this is for, sorry, my mistake. This is for w, this is for x, this is for y, and this is for z. All these will have value 1, 1, 1, 1. All right, now let me ask you, if I do result, this result, what will be the output? Anyone? What will be the output of this line?
Two.
Two.
Two,
Very,
sir.
very good. Excellent, excellent. Okay, very good. Okay, now after this, if I print W, what will be the value of W?
Two.
1, 3,
What will be the value of W?
1.
No, it will be 2. Why?
Two, sir.
Because
Sir, because it's not
why will
increment and
it?
decrement operator.
What
Two.
it is going to happen is in this expression, after transferring, that means it is going to first it is going to increment the value of W and then pass it here. That means the value of W is becomes 2 and then this is transferred into a result. Okay, so when I print the result, I'm getting 2 and also the value of W will also be 2 because it has already changed here. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now suppose the same example, if I write something like result is equal to W plus plus and then I print result here, what will be the value?
1. 1.
1.
Value here and what will be the value here? So this value will be 1. Okay,
And
this
1.
W will
value
be
will
2.
be 1 and this value will be 2 because
2. Yes, sir.
first this value will go into result and then this is
1.
going to get increment and
Second
value
will
of
be
W will be
increment.
2. All right, so everybody is clear
Yes, sir.
with what we
Yes,
have
sir.
just done? Sorry,
Yes, sir.
somebody
Clear.
saying,
Got it, sir.
yeah, tell me. Got it? Okay, good, good. I hope everybody is clear with this. It's quite simple to understand. So I'm going a little fast here because there is not much of a concept involved. Okay, now there are some more operators. So what we were operators that you see here, plus, minus, equal to, multiplications, they were all called as arithmetic operators because they are used to do arithmetic. They are used to do calculations which are mathematical calculations in expressions. What do we mean by relationships between two expressions? Like, for example, when I have two variables, I can have some relationships between them.
Sir, you are not audible properly.
Yes, sir. Your voice is breaking.
I also break.
To people,
Not
or
audible.
Yes, sir, your
I
voice
can
is
always
breaking.
try and relate some parameters of these two people. For example, let's look at the weight.
So, hello, hello, sir.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Sir, you're
Hello,
not
hello.
audible.
Hello, sir.
हेलो सर ने म्यूट
Hello.
किया है वेट
अरे बोर्ड में तो भरा रहा है.
हेलो हेलो अंकित क्या क्लास खत्म हो गया
नहीं नहीं चालू है चालू
Class,
है
class.
सर
Is
कहाँ
class
गए
over? Is class over or not?
No, no, class is going.
अविनाश त्रिपाठी क्या हाल चाल
Class is still on.
अरे
अरे
क्लास खत्म
अंकित
नहीं हुआ
क्लास
सर नहीं है
ऑन क्लास
So,
ऑन
but, sir, where is going?
आज सर गोइंग आई डोंट
क्या
नो
बोल
हाउस
रहे क्या बोल रहे
सर देयर इज
हाउस लिटिल बिट वेट सर कमिंग अगेन
क्या
क्या अभिषेक
सूरज करता है टिफिन दे दिया
गया था तो
रुद्रेश
30 minutes left.
रुद्रेश
Close for 12.
डेस्परेट रुद्रेश डेस्परेट
क्या बे
अब अंकित
You're desperate, boy.
हाँ दूसरा बात बोलो क्या?
अरे सीए का क्लास कितना 12 बजे से चालू हो जाएगा ना?
हाँ हाँ
हाँ bro.
सीए के क्लास है क्या आज?
हाँ 12 बजे है।
12 बजे से।
12 बजे? अच्छा ठीक है ठीक है।
Tripathi, someone needs to know your
मेरा
location. Someone
नेटवर्क
is.
हाँ त्रिपाठी बाबू
क्या हुआ क्या हुआ?
Someone
रिकॉर्डिंग
wants
ऑन
to
है
know
भाई।
your location.
अरे शांत
अरे
हो ना यार,
भाई.
यही जगह मिला है डिस्कस
सिद्धार्थ
करने के लिए।
पूछते हैं। सिद्धार्थ
अंकित हेलो,
हाँ भाई बोल.
क्या हुआ कल रात को जो कॉल किया था?
कहाँ गया सब लोग?
क्या हुआ?
क्या?
भाई रिकॉर्ड हो रहा है, रिकॉर्ड हो रहा है।
हेलो हेलो हेलो।
Yes, my dear friend, speak.
Is the class over?
No.
Not
No.
yet.
नो क्लास
Okay, I
नॉट
think,
ओवर।
did I get locked out? Are you are you able to see my screen?
No, no, sir.
No,
We are not
sir.
able to see your screen.
No
नो
sir.
सर।
No sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. 1 minute. 1 minute. I think some problem happened. So okay. Just give me a moment. Let me try and reconnect. My screen has just gone. I'm just trying to reconnect back to my old screen. So just give me, it might take 1 or 2 minutes. Please be patient.
फिर अगेन क्लास।
If anybody is there who has not yet written their roll numbers, I think I have, how many people are there in the group? Sorry? Okay. There is a problem with me connecting to the network. I think now everybody should be able to see me.
Yes sir.
Yeah, everybody is able to see me now?
Yes, sir.
नो
Oh,
Yes, sir.
yes? Okay. Okay, good. So I was talking about looking at the expression. Can you all mute your microphones, please? All right. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so I was asking you to look at this expression here. So when I have this expression here, which is 5 into 3 is less than 2 plus 6, it evaluates to this expression at the end. Now, what do you think about this statement? What do you think about the statement which I have got after evaluating this expression? What will be your opinion on this? What do you think? Is it right? Is it wrong? You know, does it hold? Does it make sense or does it not make sense? Are you able to hear me?
Sir, repeat it.
Sorry, you were not audible.
You're not able to hear me?
Not clear audible, sir.
No, sir,
Your
not audible.
voice is breaking.
I'm not audible? Okay, it's not clear. Okay. Just 1 second, just hold on, just hold on. Okay, are you able to hear me clearly now?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So I was asking you that look into this expression here. This is if there is this is an expression that I have given. So once we evaluate this expression, we will get this into the final form. Now, what do you say about this expression? What do you think this expression tells you? There are two things which this expression tells me. That this is not right. Is this right? 15 is not less than 8, or 8 is not greater than 15, isn't it? So what this expression tells me, this answer tells me that this is not right, it is wrong. This does not make sense. 15 is not less than 8, or 8 is not greater than 15. So this statement is incorrect, or it is wrong, right? That means if I have any expression which is using a relational operator. So if I have any expression which uses a relational operator, the output of this expression, that means the final form of this expression, will have only two values. It will result only two values: right, wrong, true, false. Okay, are you able to understand? So if I have any relational operators, like for example, I can talk about lots of expressions here, lots of expressions here, and if I have a relational operator here, the result that this will give me at the end will always have two values. Okay, that is right or wrong. That means if I have 3 plus 6 is equal to 2 plus 8, right, this will be 9, and this side it's equal to 10. So this is incorrect. So what will be the value of this? Wrong. So if I have 3 plus 5 and this side 2 plus 8, what will this side give me? 8. And what will this side give me? 10. So still incorrect. But if I have 7 here, then 7 plus 3 is equal to 10. So on the left hand side I'll have 10, and on the right hand side I will have 10. Now are they correct? Yes. So the final output that I get is correct, which is right. So the very important point which I'm trying to discuss here is that all relational expressions produce a result of either 0 or 1. The 0 represents wrong and 1 represents right. 0 represents false and 1 represents true. Okay, that means, is this expression true or is this expression false? Okay, that is the meaning of this false and true. So 0 and 1, it also you use 0 and 1 in binary. So if you look at binary digits, the binary digits are represented by 1 and 0. So 1 represents true and 0 represents false. Okay, just to give you a small information, have you seen the switches or the icons that are used for your mobile phone? Right, mobile phone or any appliances, you'll find that your switches will be marked like this. That means your on-off button on your laptop, they will always be marked something like this. Right? What actually this represents is 0 and 1. Okay, so if you press, it's either on or it is off. So this switch that represents is represented by this icon. This is actually not an icon, but it is 0 and 1 in binary, where there are only two values possible for a switch. If you press, it is on. If you remove it, it is off. So off and on are only two values which a switch can produce. Similarly, when you talk about an expression using relational operators, just like your switch, it can only produce two values. You can have either it is 1 or 0. That means either it is true or false. Okay, so you can actually I'll show you some examples of this in the next class, right, where I will talk about how these relational operators can be used effectively. All right, but for today's class, I think this should be fine. So I will also upload the videos of each class which we are having right now till all the students come in, because there will be some more students who will be joining us soon. Okay, so do you have any doubts whatsoever for today's class? You can ask me, or if you don't have anything, then you let me know. Do you have any doubts or questions for me?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Anyone? Anyone who's there in the class? If you have all those students who have joined in late, are you able to follow what I am teaching you?
Yes, sir.
Sure? All good?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. So, do you have another class now?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ये किसी का बच्चा चिल्ला रहा है।
Sir, not now. 3 at 3.
हेलो शिवराज, हेलो।
All right, then we can, exit the class today, and we will meet again tomorrow.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
See you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye, sir.
Bye.
Bye, sir. Thank you.
Bye, sir.
Right.
Thank you, sir.